My last double slit video, it was the first time I'd ever done it. The slits were too close together and it made it difficult to see the two different waves that form. So I made the slits further apart, and you'll see soon that actually two waves really do form. And what you'll see, these waves are being generated by essentially a particle. These squares, it's a vector field. You see that how they have arrows. These thin arrows, see how they're pointing in different directions. The thin arrows, that's positive energy pressure. These fat, darker arrows, see how they're pointing into this particle. That's negative energy pressure. This red, this is a focal point of positive energy pressure. The blue is a focal point of negative energy pressure. So this particle is essentially like a tiny magnet. It's like a little magnet. And it is coming out of the equation of, I'm calling it the equation of everything. It really appears to be the unified equation of everything. The one that Einstein, Hawking, these guys were looking for. It really does appear to be that. It manifests all four forces. You can see gravity develops in here. These particles, they attract each other. When you get a few of them together, they start attracting each other. Now you can see the electromagnetic radiation. They're held together by strong nuclear. They're radiating by weak nuclear. It's all four forces that's manifesting inside of here. And so people are asking, how did I do this? There are about 10 different layers that are being stacked to create that vector field. And now here, by filtering it by energy intensity, you can see the this is by energy intensity. Actually, this is by change. Actually, this is a change function here. So red is high positive change, and blue is high negative change. Black is low change. So the only way that you're able to I'm able to create, or you, or whoever is able to create this particular automaton, is to stack about 10 different layers of data. And you might be thinking, well, if you're stacking 10 different layers or so, then it's not really a unified equation. That's 10 different equations. No, the source data is one equation. The source data is energy divided by space. Literally, energy pressure divided by space density. Energy pressure is the content of each cell. Space density is the cell itself. That is literally all that is being calculated here. But the only way to get it so it's actually visible to us finite human beings is to stack it in a way that we can comprehend what's going on. The same way, the only way we can comprehend the universe is to filter it through various senses, our eyes, our ears, or things like that. We have to filter the data through different filters and then stack those filters. That's how I get this to work. It's like when I respond to people in the comments and I say, like, there's no easy way to explain it, I have to show you in a paper. It really is hard to, it's not that it's hard to explain, it's just very lengthy. The paper is approximately 200 pages long. The paper where I explain how this works, 200 pages. And it is very easy to understand. You've heard these quotes like, well, if you can't explain it simply, then you don't really understand it. This paper is so simple, I've explained it to a 5-year-old. I've explained it to my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old can understand why this works. It's just very lengthy to explain why. It takes a kind of a completely new way of looking at the universe in a lot of ways. But if you're familiar with cellular automata, a lot of it will be very familiar. If you are familiar with cellular automata, you're already ahead of many, many people who won't understand why it works. I'll have the paper done soon. Anyway, someone else said, like, oh, this is just it's just a spreadsheet. It's just a spread. You're running an automaton in a spread. Yeah, you're right. I am. I'm running an automaton in a spread. I'm running it on a computer. It's being computed. It's computation. I don't really know what you want me to say. Do you want me to manifest actual reality in front of you? I hate to break it to people, but I'm not God. Like, if your threshold for a unified theory of everything is for me to clap my hands and actual reality manifests in front of your eyes, you will be disappointed over and over and over again. No one would ever say general relativity isn't real because it's just numbers, right? You wouldn't look at equations and say, no one would ever look at physics equations and say, oh, those aren't real because they're just numbers. No one would ever say that. Why would they say that about a cellular automaton?